Hello everyone. So today I'm going to do a little chat on anxiety, and this is going to be like an updated sort of version of my initial video that I did here on YouTube maybe 4 years ago. It's through how I got better and how anxiety affects me today. I'm going to start by kind of giving you a short description of what led me to having this sort of anxiety breakdown. At the time, I remember I was 21. I had just moved to Auckland from a small town in New Zealand. My boyfriend and I had just broken up, and this guy I was with for maybe 5 years. And then my grandfather died of cancer. So all of these three things all kind of happened in one bubble. And I don't think that at the time I was really dealing with the stress of it all, so I kind of just pushed it down. And I just remember one day having a panic attack in my mother's lounge, and from that panic attack I was toast. Basically that set it off, and then every single day I spent just worrying about the next anxiety attack. I think I had what you would call more of a generalized anxiety disorder, where I just felt anxious day in, day out, every single day, no breaks, nothing, for maybe a whole year, I want to say, or maybe longer. The general anxiety every single day, obsessive thoughts that I couldn't stop, and it was very, very scary because they were like very intrusive, weird sort of thoughts that I was scared of myself for thinking them. What else? I've had that funny feeling, what is it called again? Depersonalization, is that the right one? Where I just felt like I was not really living. Really weird feeling to have. Then I went through a period of depression, so I think after having all of that constant stress and constant worry, day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out, I came to a point where I couldn't feel anything anymore, and I just started feeling depressed. Anxiety, I was a very bubbly, outgoing person, and then once I started getting this anxiety, I became a recluse, which is very unlike me. I didn't want to go out because everything stimulated my mind and made me more anxious. So then I kind of avoided everything. I didn't even like leaving my bedroom at some point, and that was when I started to realize I need to do something about this because it's taking over my life. And so initially how I started to get better is I found the Anxiety No More page, which is Paul's page, and that was probably a turning point in my life because he is so brave and so amazing for sharing his story and putting himself out there to the world. And not only that, but he explained every single symptom of anxiety that no one else could explain to me. And I think a big part of getting better with anxiety is understand and have the knowledge of symptoms so they stop scaring you. Because I was very, very scared of why was I having these symptoms, and no one could explain it to me, and that was very scary. I started to understand that the only way to overcome anxiety, and this is the only way to overcome anything in life, I believe, is to surrender to it, accept it, and ease the anxiety. You don't want to add anxiety on top of what is already a very anxious mind. And so I started realizing that every time I freaked out about these symptoms, I was just adding more fuel to this anxious fire that was like burning in my brain. And I stopped doing that. So what happened was I read the book, and of course it did not happen overnight that I started to feel better, because to accept something that is very painful and that you have run away from for a long time is very hard. But having that knowledge, and knowledge is power in this situation, because I started to understand why my brain was doing these funny things, and once I understood why, it took some of the fear away. So it eased some anxiety around the fact that no one else could explain to me why. Mainly that's what I did. Later down the track, once I started to feel better and more able and more sure in myself, I started meditation as well. Meditation is something that I believe in a lot, that has helped me a lot, and it's saw a lady that helped me with basically sort of mindfulness therapy, and she sat me through a panic attack, and that was also a very life-changing moment, because in that instant I realized that what I was running away from just wanted my attention. And once you can get to a point where you can sit with yourself and fully accept panic, anxiety, or whatever's raging within you, but really sit with it and breathe through it and be mindful with it, I'd realized it was just this energy that needed freeing in my body. I had a lot of stress in my life, and my body was trying to tell me to slow down. Once I did that, I realized that sitting with it actually transformed that energy into this very peaceful, very calm energy. And so what I want to say to you guys is that on the other end of your anxiety is a peace and a calmness that is very, very beautiful, and you can't access that if you don't let yourself fully, and when I mean fully, I mean really fully accept this energy in your body. Anxiety is just energy. Like if you strip everything down, it is just energy in your body trying to move through, and every time it's trying to come up and you go, oh my god, I don't want this, oh my god, I'm gonna have a panic attack, I can't do this anymore, you're literally stuffing it back down, and it's not gonna go anywhere. It's not gonna just magically disappear. And you might say, I'm accepting and I'm surrendering, but when it comes up, you're still like, no, I don't want this today, so I'll deal with it tomorrow, or I'll deal with it later. And hey, we all do this. I do that. We're all human. I get it. It's very, very hard to sit with yourself. It's very hard to accept something that you find extremely uncomfortable and painful. I know. I've been there, and I'm still there. It's a journey. It's not going to take a year and it's gone, and I'm not going to sit here and say that some days I don't find it hard to do that. Of course I do. I've had the experience of sitting down with it. I have also been practicing meditation. I have also been practicing acceptance. I have educated myself, and I realize that I have complete power to change my situation, and so do you. Everyone does. And I urge you to, if you're really, really, really low, obviously always get help with a counselor or a friend or whoever you feel comfortable with, and then read these books. There's a lot of good information out there on anxiety now. Paul has done a wonderful job at helping so many people and writing the most amazing articles on anxiety. And basically where I'm at now is I still have a very strong practice of meditation that started with anxiety. But I want to tell you that my anxiety was my greatest teacher. I live a much fuller, much happier, much richer life than what I did before my anxiety. And it really opened up a door to this whole new world of presence, mindfulness, and emotional health that I've never ever had. And I don't believe I would have had that had I not gone through that. So in the moments of pain and in the moments of hard, really, really hard days, I want you to change your mindset and remember that this has the power to change you in the best way possible, and you are in control. You can look at it and think, this is the most horrible thing I've ever been through, or you can look at it and educate yourself and let it help you transform. Sorry about that. So this happened 5 years ago. I'm speaking from a more peaceful, a more calm, a more happy mindset, and I understand that when I used to watch videos like what I'm doing now, I used to think that's never going to be me. I'm never going to get over this. This is going to ruin my life, and that's the mindset I was in. And you can, okay? You just have to start and accept and surrender. It's so important. Yes, these nasty symptoms are horrible, and I get it. I've been through it, trust me, and sometimes I still get fired up in my belly with anxiety, and you know, what happens is you change your perspective. You no longer think, I don't want this, why are you here? You kind of have to look at your little bubble of anxiety and befriend it, because it actually has so much to teach you. So yeah, that's kind of my closing message. Learn how to befriend your anxiety, get educated on it, get help if you need it, get some medication if you need it, do whatever you need to do, but know that this is here to grow you, it's here to teach you, and if you let it, you can live a very beautiful life with your anxiety in hand. Freedom from fear, or recovering or overcoming, people think it means that you never feel anxious again. That's not what it means. It means being able to let yourself feel whatever your body needs to let out, and being okay with that. The minute you can sit down, feel that feeling in your tummy and feel no resistance towards it, that's when you've overcome something. You know, obviously my level of anxiety now is a lot more normal, but you have to be able to let it be there, and you have to befriend it, and that's truly how you overcome something. It's not going to disappear forever, but it is going to become more of a friendly relationship. You're not going to hate it, you know, and that's when you know, yes, you're doing a good job. You're not pushing something away all the time. You're not battling in your mind with this, oh, why do I have this? Why me? Why this? You know, it's going to become a much friendlier place with you and your anxiety, and then you're kind of integrating it, and then, yeah, it no longer bothers you. And I know you can do this.